I've got to say Paul Scholes. I think he was an unbelievable player.
I think Lampard is number one.
I like Gerrard.
Who's your first choice?
He's just one of the best players we've had, and he's a nice person. He's going to be a great manager with Derby.
Super Frank is probably the legend. He scored his 200 goals here. He's an absolute legend of the team, and we're all looking forward to seeing him come back with Derby County in a couple weeks' time. We'll hope he loses, but we'll be happy to have him back.
A god, a legend, a man that bleeds blue.
It means he banged in a lot of amazing goals week in, week out. That's what it means.
He was an absolute legend.
He was.
Not so much anymore.
Just a great player all round, yeah.
Probably maybe the second best player to ever play for Chelsea after Drogba, and soon to be Hazard if he signs a new contract.
To me, he was a bastion of a player who stuck with us and has been with us for so long, and he's won everything he could, broke records with us, and he's a symbol of our success for me in this era.
Oh, he's a great servant, great goal scorer, a good example to all the youth players coming through, and now he looks as though he's going to make it in management as well. So we're really supportive of Frank and hope he comes back here one day and works for Chelsea again.
Oh, somebody once described him as a Rolls Royce of a man, and that's exactly what he is. Yeah.
Scholes is a great player, he's a great midfielder, he's a very good legend too. They all play different football and different style of football. And Gerrard too they are both great legends.
They're also legends.
They're very good players. Both played for England, but obviously Lampard is obviously 100% better than them two.
Really?
Yeah, and his heart is in London. Yeah.
I think Paul Scholes, I'm an Englishman, so I've got to appreciate, I think Paul Scholes was one of the best centre mids we produced in the last 20 years. So I've got a huge amount of respect for him. Of course, he played for United, which is hard to take, but, you know, still, got to respect the man. Gerrard and Lampard, it's a shame. Well, all three of them, it's a shame England couldn't get them three in the midfield. The only country in the world who couldn't use those three in the central of midfield, and to good effect. Because I think Lampard and Gerrard are very similar players in many ways, but obviously you've got to respect Frank a little bit more as a Chelsea fan.
I think Gerrard had to carry his team more. Lampard had more of a team around him.
I've got respect for all of them. It's a tricky one because all three came around at the same time. So it really makes it hard for the argument of English central midfielders who's the best.
They're all really top players. But Lamps won more than Gerrard. Scholes, brilliant player, won everything. You'd be pleased to have any of them in your side.
I agree, ditto.
I'll say, yeah, he's on a rough level with Paul Scholes. Gerrard, he beats Gerrard. Yeah, definitely beats Gerrard.
Steve Gerrard, nah.
Probably
Super Frank all the way.
You can compare them, but as long as that comparison ends up with Super Frank being the best of the three. Yeah.
I'm not a fan. If they're not Chelsea players, I don't support them.
I like Gerrard.
My heart wants to say Frank, but as a coach, I've got to say Paul Scholes. I think he was an unbelievable player. Wonderful pass, literally. He could pick out. There was a joke around the Man United training ground where if someone went to the side of the pitch to, you know, have a go for a pee, Paul Scholes from 70 yards out could just ping a pass and hit them on the head, you know, just to catch them out. Like, you know, technically he was an unbelievable player. We didn't get the best out of him from England, and I think that's the biggest regret from as an England fan for the last 10 years, and we didn't get a player of that quality. We didn't get the best out of him.
I'm going to show a little bias. Lampard, out of the three of them, I say is the best. And then I'd probably say Steven Gerrard and then Paul Scholes. But I've got respect for all three of them.
In as much as I'm a Chelsea fan, but I will go for Scholes first. I like his play, his style of football, and the way he assists and manages the midfield very well.
I think Lampard is number one.
How was second choice?
Lampard.
As a second?
Yeah, first, second Lampard.
Frank Lampard's much better. Always prefer Frank Lampard. Second choice. Yeah, I like Steven Gerrard. I like him. Yeah.
For sure, it's Lampard. It's always Lampard. I would take Gerrard over Scholes. I think Gerrard was a hell of a player, but Scholes was just a team. He had, Giggs was probably better, and he was always surrounded by good players. And now he's trying to be a pundit, but not doing so well at it.
Well, I'm biased, aren't I? If I was a coach, I would try and find a method to play all three of them. That would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? England couldn't do it, but lots of England fans think that they should have found a method to do it. But anyway, that's in the past. But no, they're all top players.
All I can say is that for years I used to go horse racing. Nothing compares to football. Football is the best, really.
Second choice is Frank Lampard. Yeah.
Who's your first choice?
First Scholes. Yeah.